Greetings, I am Matthew Graves. I'd like to thank you for viewing this video I have made on the past, present, and future of food on Taos Pueblo and in Taos Pueblo. When you were little, how has food changed? And more specifically, things that most people would consider healthy, vegetables or fresh meats.
I remember, eating like a lot of raviolis and like ramen noodles, a bunch of very sugary cereals. Not the so healthy things. I can't quite remember eating a lot of vegetables when I was younger. I mean, I'm sure I have, and I'm sure if my parents see this, they're gonna be like, Tiana, you ate vegetables when you were a child. But really, it's not like a prominent memory. Food is a lot healthier for me, I think, throughout my life since being a child and going to high school and to college and like learning from there, and also educating myself on like healthy food and what it is. And I've worked at farms since 2014. And since becoming more aware of like different diets and like really ingredients in food, I've definitely strayed away from like a lot of those sugary, unhealthy foods. Although I will admit I do love ramen. It's a comfort food for me kind of at this point.
Would you say that the modern convenience of a store has driven people away, for the vast majority, from more natural or things that their bodies are more adapted to?
I would say yes, that grocery stores have, I guess, kept some people from a healthier lifestyle. I mean, I feel like a lot of people in our community and many other communities too, get whatever vegetables we want. But I think we have to look at like how those vegetables are harvested and transported, because a lot of them are picked before they're even ripe.
If we as humans, let's say the human race, wants to continue to survive and grow, what do you think we need to consider when we choose what we grow in areas and what we harvest in areas?
When thinking about that question, I often think, about Taos Pueblo and stories that I've heard from elders. Taos Pueblo itself had 7 years worth of food storage in the event of any kind of catastrophe like that. I feel that's why maybe our people focus so much on agriculture, is that we understood at times that we would either have drought, maybe floods, although that is not something that isn't common in New Mexico, but it still does happen, and that can seriously affect your farming. I feel like what we're really blessed with living in the Southwest is this dry, hot heat. We're able to grow as much as we can and just leave it out to dry and then store that, for however long we need it to. This is where people or the world can learn from Indigenous people and give us our due credit, because we're never given our due credit. Is you just need to speak to people and ask like how they have been able to survive in that land for hundreds of years. If there's something that's produced locally, the nutrients will most likely be higher, because I feel like producing locally, you actually do have that kind of community connection. You know what your people are asking for, and you want to make sure that they're getting healthy food.
I'm a sculptor, and I've been sculpting 49 years now, and I mainly work in stone.
What is your experience with growing food here? How has food changed?
When I was growing up, my grandparents, as well as others up to Pueblo, grew their food with simple plows and a horse. When my people first arrived here, they brought along with them the essence of life, which is corn, maize. That was the first crop. From there on, adoptions of beans, squash, chilies, came later from the south.
What are your thoughts on the mass production of non-native plants and animals?
Plants, that should remain the same. A lot of, I don't think plants need to be, interbred with any other seed, especially the native plants. If the soil can handle that certain, whatever is going to be grown, let it be grown, whipped cream, ice cream, once in a while, but not all the time. That's not healthy. Anything that is so good, so tasty, I believe is not good or healthy.
What is something you wish to tell the people that will see this video about the past and future of food?
Never to lose that idea of what, we grew up with here compared to what's been sold in the stores now. So much, processed food around now that's not healthy.
Anything else you think that is important that people or the community or even the wider world needs to consider and needs to start talking about now? What would it be?
Availability of water, which is the most important to grow our food.
When you were little, what was food like? How did you get it? What was the availability of healthy food? And how has it changed since you grew up?
Well, I think when we were younger, we had more access to a lot of natural foods because people used to go out and gather natural, foods.
When we choose to grow and harvest food, what do you think is the most important thing to consider?
Growing food is the basis of our existence. And here in the Southwest, most of the agriculture was based on what they call the three sisters. That's corn, squash, and beans.
What is your opinion of monocropping or mass monocropping or mass animal growing? What is your opinion of them?
Well, I suppose in some cases it's necessary. Uh, there are some things that you have to grow in abundance, and like cattle. I suppose those things all have a place, with everything else. So you have to have a diversity.
Something you wish to tell people that see this video, about the future and the past of food, the story of how it's changed.
I think we should make every effort to get back to the land, especially as a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
We've always been self-sustainable. We always grew our own food, and that's the way we survived. The other part of that is like you can grow all the crops you want, but you also have to have a way to spread them out or dispose of them or market them or something.
Have a use for them, just don't keep them.
Yeah.